Good morning, Facebook. It's so good to see all of you today or to have all of you here. I can't see you, but you can see me. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Saying video is starting, so I'm hoping that that actually means that it's working. And I think it says I'm live now, so I think for sure we're good to go. Well, good morning, everybody. So good to have you here with me today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Gail. I am a bookseller here in lovely downtown Marshall, Michigan, at News Story Community Books. We are a small independent bookstore, and we specialize in both new and used books, and a celebration of all things that are bookish and all things that related to fandoms and literacy and literary supports. And we would definitely love for you to check us out on our website, newstorybooks.com, or you can check out the link that I've posted in this video so that you can see some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. We do also, for those of you that are not local, we do also ship. We can ship for $40, I think now. Yeah, if you order $40 worth of material pre-tax, we ship for free. And there's a small shipping fee if you order less than that. And for those of you that are local, we do also offer free local delivery for certain zip codes. Check out our website to figure out those zip codes because I never remember all of the numbers for the zip codes and the areas for that. If you haven't already done so, please make sure that you like this video, that you tag people in the comments, share this video, just so that we can get the word out about the cool things that we have in the store. Today we are going to talk about some books that are related to some really big, actually TV, I guess you could, I mean streaming, it's nowadays, it's streaming. I'm going to call it TV, but it's streaming. Some massive series that have been recently released and have just been blowing up social media, blowing up pop culture media, and all those things. We're going to talk about Sandman, and we're going to talk about Stranger Things and some books that you might be interested in if you have binge watched both of those series or one of those series or either of those series, or if you know somebody who has and you're looking for something to kind of fill that void in your life, to something that's literary. So if you know anybody, or if you know anybody who likes either of those shows, please, like I said, tag them, send this video to them, and check this out for some gift ideas. I know it's kind of hard to think about because it's like 80 degrees right now, but Christmas is coming, guys. It's going to be here faster than you think it will be. So I'm going to show you some of those books. You can either, while we are live, you can comment below if you'd like me to put one of those aside for you. You can reserve it right on the website, like I said, by clicking the link that I have posted in the video description. And you can check out the other books that are in the list of things that someone who has watched Sandman or watched Stranger Things might appreciate. So, or you can, like I said, you can email us, you can call us, and we can get some of those set aside for you. I think all the books that I pulled today are ones that are new. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I haven't pulled any that are not new. So they're all something that if we run out of them, we can order them again for you. But like I said, sooner better rather than later, especially if you're thinking for gifts. So without further ado, let's get started. So from what I understand it, I've not watched either of these shows, but I've done a little bit of research and I have enough friends that have watched them and have talked about it, that I can be conversational, I guess you would say. For those that have any idea about Sandman, it's about well, by Neil Gaiman. I don't know how you said. I've only ever read it, so I've said Gaiman, but it might be Gaiman. And someone will probably correct me at some point, which is fine. But it's about a person who embodies the idea of dreams, and who has been freed from their imprisonment and who is trying to reclaim the kingdom of dreams. And so someone can tell me if that's not correct, but that's my understanding of it. And we've got several different versions of the graphic version of this book of this story, because originally Sandman was a comic book series. And it's been adapted to TV, and we've got two really cool versions. I'm going to show you the one that it requires two hands, guys, because it's massive. It's a great gift. Ooh, okay. So this is, there we go. This is the Annotated Sandman Volume 1. Guys, that means that there are more. There are more of this. We only have Volume 1 in store. I'm not even sure if Volume 2 has been released yet, but we just got this within the past week. It was not here last week. This is an absolutely beautiful book. Like I said, a great gift for those that are Gaiman fans or who really liked the show. So what I love about this, it's annotated, so it's got some notes along the side that tell about what was occurring in each section. So I'm going to try to see if I can show this to you without destroying this lovely book, because it's a pricey one. So look at, there's some annotations along the side. Look at those illustrations, guys. So everything in this book, it's all black and white, which is different than some of the other graphic novel versions of this that we have. But everything is in black and white, which just shows that really great contrast. And it's just, it sets the tone, I guess you could say, for the entire story. So if you or someone you like, or someone you love, someone you know, really like Sandman, and you're looking for a great book, I highly encourage you to pick up a copy of the annotated Sandman. It's Sandman 1 through 20. See, oops, on this side. See, it's 1 through 20 is where all of these what's in this compendium here. So, and you can reach out to us if you're interested in other versions too. But this is the only one we got in store right now. Ooh. Ooh, that one. That one is a workout to pick up. I tell you what, guys, that is not a kid's book. Not a kid's book in any way, shape, or form. It might smoosh a child. So the other version of Sandman that we have in here, which is a little bit more affordable, a little bit less heavy, a little bit less, a little bit less expensive too, is the graphic novel version. Things are popping up on my screen. Go away. Here we go. Is the graphic novel version of Sandman that it does feature color. All right, this one's got prettier colors than the other one. Right. And this is book 1. There are several other books. I'm not sure that we have the other ones in store. Also, I'm not sure if they've been re-released. I know that a lot of stuff that Gaiman's done in the past has been released and then not released and then re-released once it's picked up popularity again. But I highly encourage you, if you know somebody who likes Sandman and you're looking for a little bit more of an or a little bit more engaging, I guess you could say, of images, but still the same story, check out this version of the compendium of the tales, right? And since we're on the topic of Gaiman, who is the author of many, many books, a lot of fantasy / sci-fi, I would say like overarching ideas. His is not his. A lot of his books, from what I've read of them and from what I've gathered of them, they're not just a playful romp. They make you think a little bit more. I want to say esoteric, but I don't think that's the word that I really want with this. But this is one of the books that, if you like Sandman and you liked the ideas, the deeper thinking that it prompts, with some of its morality, I guess you could say, then I would definitely check out another one of Gaiman's books, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. And like I said, if it's not how you say the name, I'm so sorry. I'm going to call him, just say Gaiman, right? Gaiman, I think is how I've always said it. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm going to just say it that way. Ocean at the End of the Lane. So this one is a book that deals with a man who goes back home back to his hometown for a funeral, and he starts dealing with a lot of memories from this past. And it just kind of talks about the things that or kind of gets into the idea of the separation, the difference between childhood and adulthood, and how our understanding of the world and understanding of ourselves shifts during that time. So highly encourage, if you like the deeper meaning aspects that show up in Sandman, and some of the, I would say, not just with the action, but some of the higher thinking, or that's what I would definitely recommend, The Ocean at the End of the Lane. And for those who are more like me, that when you read a story, you want to read a story, not necessarily just to think, you could check out this other classic Gaiman book, especially great for the spooky times that are coming up soon, guys, in fall, right? You've got the Graveyard book. This is one that I have read. It's about a boy who is I wouldn't say necessarily abandoned, but he is raised in a graveyard. Shock, right? He is raised in a graveyard by the ghosts that are there. They kind of rescued him when he was young, and so that's all that he's known, is living with these ghosts. And then he ends up wanting to leave the graveyard, but it's not really safe for him out there. But this is just a really good book that deals with who family is, and also deals with just growing up and coming into yourself. So I highly encourage you that if you got somebody who wants just a romp, I guess you could say, or a little bit more of a romp with Neil Gaiman books, and this is also really great for middle readers, so advancing readers, middle grades. So I'd say like middle school students, this would be a really great book to give them, especially as a gift. So check out the Graveyard Book if you are interested. And in another similar vein, another classic, I'm looking to see if there's anyone's commented. Okay, no one's asking questions, so that's fine. Another really great book, another classic, which is also kind of related to the film version of it too, is Howls Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones, or Wynne Jones. Once again, I've never heard it said, so I'm just gonna go with that way. But this, if you liked Graveyard Book, or if you know anybody who did like it, this would be a great book to give them. So it's about Sophie, who gets she unintentionally becomes the focal point of the anger of the Witch of the Waste, and she suddenly transforms into, and Sophie is suddenly transformed into an old lady. In order to get back, she has to go to Howl, who is a wizard in the castle, and he's not necessarily the most friendly human being either, or most friendly being either, and so she has to try to overcome some of the supernatural elements within her journey to get back to the way that she is meant to be. So if you like that aspect with the supernatural and dealing with some of the, I would say it's got undercurrents of deeper meanings within it, I would definitely check out Howl's Moving Castle. And if you like some of the embodiment, I guess you could say, aspect of Sandman, where something that is not tangible becomes a human and takes on those human forms, some good old personification for those who have ever had me in my classroom, my English classroom, I would check out, there we go, N.K. Jemisin, and The City We Became. So this is a standalone book. I know Jemisin does an awful lot with trilogies and with series. She's won quite a few awards within the fantasy realm, and I think a few in sci-fi. But look at that, even on the cover it says Gaiman's giving his endorsement of Glorious. But this is about the 5 boroughs of New York, and each of them have a person who has embodied their essence, their character, and they all must band together despite their differences against a common enemy within this. So if you like the idea of within Sandman that something that is not tangible becomes a human and must deal with dark powers, then I would definitely check out The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. That's all I'm going to do for Sandman right now, but you can, like I said, you can check out our list that is in the link if you want to see more books that we have in stock and that we can order for you. Good morning. Thank you, Erin, for tagging somebody. We so appreciate it. And so I'm going to start talking about some books with Stranger Things now. So Stranger Things, from my understanding, so please correct me if I'm wrong, Stranger Things did not start as a book. Even though some of its ideas are let's say like stem from like Dungeons and Dragons D&D type stuff. I've not watched it, so do not yell at me if I'm wrong. But that's my understanding of it. But it did not start as a book. We do have a couple of books in store that are based on the show, and I want to show you those to you guys too. Okay, so the first one that I have, it's meant for middle readers, so I'd say upper elementary, middle school kids, but it's definitely Stranger Things. Look at that, Stranger Things. It's called Hawkins Horrors. It's a collection of tales, terrifying tales, supposedly, but definitely appropriate for anybody who would be in those middle grades categories. But this delves into some of the adventures that I think some of them are within the series and some might be outside of the series, other imaginings. I am not 100% sure because like I said, I've not watched the show myself. But if you know a kiddo who has watched Stranger Things and loved it, or maybe you just want to relive that or relive some of those stories or just get in with those characters again, I highly encourage you to check out Hawkins Horrors with Stranger Things. And it's by Matthew J. Gilbert, is down there in the corner. Matthew J. Gilbert is the author of this. And so within Stranger Things, this, once again, correct me if I am wrong about this premise. My understanding of it is that there's a normal town in the 80s, I think, a normal town that has an institute close by that does some experimentation with supernatural elements and ends up meddling a bit too much, and then opens a portal into another world with not so nice creatures and really cool creatures and also not so nice ones. That's my understanding of it, and so that's what I'm going off of with all of my recommendations with this, guys. And I thought this was really, really cool. We have a book that is a graphic novel and it deals with Stranger Things, but it also blends in elements of Dungeons and Dragons D&D, which I think, from what I understand, that Stranger Things took a lot of ideas from that in the creation of world, the creation of creatures, and the activities that the protagonists deal with. But so this is the graphic novel version of Dungeons and Dragons and Stranger Things together, right? So if you know anybody who loves both of these things or either of these things, highly encourage you to check this out. It's got it's got 5 different authors down there. I'm not going to read all of them. You can see them right there if you want to look them up. Right. But this has some great colors, easy to read print and font, right, with the characters, and then also dealing with some of the battle-y things that occur throughout the show and throughout the story. So I highly encourage you to take a peek at this book, or to comment below if you're interested while we're live, or to go to our website and to order this book if you know anybody who likes either of these things, or even better, both of these things. I would say that this would be something that could definitely work for a middle school and up. So a middle reader and up would be okay with the reading level for this and the content level for this. So here are some of my recommendations based off of what I have known and what I have researched about Stranger Things, which you might like, other books that you might like if you have watched the show and you're looking for something else similar to it. So this is they're not the exact same thing, guys, but they're in the same vein, right? And so the first one that came to mind was the classic Ready Player One, which is about a boy in a dystopian world, futuristic world, where there's a gaming system that a lot of people are delved into, and so he is one of those. And as he goes trying to win the game, he has to deal with a lot of 80s pop culture references, and a lot of gaming references, so like video game stuff. And he meets a lot of people who don't really want him to succeed, and they're both the real world and also in the virtual world. So it's kind of marries both of those worlds together, and delves into some of those. I read this book and I enjoyed it, though I didn't understand a lot of it because I don't know a whole lot about 80s culture, and I also don't know a whole lot about gaming. I think I got 2 of the references throughout it, but I think that if you're somebody who has done a lot of video game stuff, especially classic video games, or somebody who likes a lot of 80s pop culture things, definitely would encourage you to check this one out, especially if you like some of those aspects of Stranger Things. We also have the sequel, which came out a few years ago, Ready Player 2. Both of these are by Ernest Cline. And so you can have the continuation of what occurs from Ready Player 1 and Ready Player 2. If you like some of the aspects of, I wouldn't necessarily say experimentation, but the supernatural melding with our real world, or our current world, I would highly encourage you to check out The Institute by Stephen King. This is one of his more recent releases. I can't remember what year. I want to say 2 years ago, maybe. 2019. I was close. 3 years ago. 2.5 years ago is when this was released. Also, Stephen King has a new book that's coming out pretty soon. Pre-order that. We've got some cool things for those who pre-order. The first 25 people that pre-order, you get a free lithograph of the book. So if you are a Stephen King fan, or if you know a Stephen King fan and you want to get them a great gift, pre-order his new book. But anyway, so this is The Institute by Stephen King, and it's about a little boy who is taken forcefully from his home, and not so nice things happen to his family, and he is brought to the Institute, where there's experimentation upon other kids such as himself who have extraordinary powers that go on, and so he has to try to find a way to escape. So if you liked the aspect of Stranger Things that has kids that are in the front seat dealing with the growing up and all of their relationships, and also dealing with these supernatural things that are occurring around them, and battling, of course, against evil. I highly encourage you to check out Stephen King's The Institute. If you like some of the spookier, the horror, the creaturey aspects of Stranger Things, I'm gonna go with another classic. I call Stephen King's kind of a classic author because he has his own, I want to say almost his own subsection in the horror and thriller genre. And so this is another book by a very famous author within that realm as well. We've got H.P. Lovecraft. This is one that we have in store. We've got several collections of Lovecraft in store, but this is one of the first ones that I grabbed because this has a lot of short stories in this. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 6 different stories within this. It's called Waking Up Screaming is the one that I've currently got. So these are haunting tales of terror. Great for those who like spooky things, who like the scarier aspects and the creature aspects and the suspense aspects of Stranger Things. I highly encourage you to check out H.P. Lovecraft books. This is one that we've got, but you can check out the list that I have posted in the link, or that I've posted in the there's one in the comments, and there's also one in the description of this video. So check out that list so you can find out more things that we've got in store for H.P. Lovecraft. Okay, so when I was researching things about Stranger Things, I noticed that there was another series that kept popping up that was also kind of media based and a little bit newer than some of the books that I have showcased to you so far. There is a podcast that exists called Night Vale that's been around for almost a decade, approximately 2014, 2012, something like that is I think when it started. And we've had several of the books in stock. We do not have the first book in stock, but we've got 2 other books in stock. So the premise of Night Vale is kind of similar to that of Stranger Things, where there's a normal town, but there's lots of not normal things that occur in the town. And so the podcast is kind of reports of the things that have happened in the town of Night Vale. And so we've got a couple of books here. We've got volumes, oops, I'm gonna move my fingers here, there we go. We've got volumes 3 and 4 in store right now, but we can always order other ones. We've got the buying of Lot 37 and Who's a Good Boy. Both of these are by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. They are the creators of the podcast. So both of these kind of would be in the same vein of Stranger Things, I would say, because they deal with a town that's kind of normal, but also lots of not normal things going on. The cool things about these books, I'm going to put one down so I can showcase to you, is that each of the stories, right? It tells you about like what's going on in the podcast, and it recounts the different episodes of the podcast. But these books also feature pictures too, which is kind of neat. I would say it takes it up a level, and it adds to some of the word I want to say is whimsy, but I don't think that really works for this genre. But some of the lightheartedness, I would say, some of the lighthearted aspects of these that are a little bit less deep and dark than some of the books that I've showcased so far. So if you know anybody who likes Stranger Things and you're looking for something else, I highly encourage you to check out Welcome to Night Vale and check out the books that are related to the podcast as well. Another, I would say, pretty popular author within the suspense, horror, supernatural genre is Clive Barker. He's written quite a few different books. This is one of the few ones that we have in store right now because he's an author that sells out pretty quickly for us quite frequently. So we've got the Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker, and so this is a book that is a little bit more for adults, so I wouldn't give this one to kids. But it's about a man who is looking for ways that he can overcome some of his desires to avoid the pain-filled things in his life by looking for not so nice things. He discovers Le Carmen's box, and some pretty scary things happen to him, and he's got some family members that are really bent upon trying to get him back into the right the right mindset and into the right side of the world, right? So if you like some of the spookier aspects and the dealing with evils aspects of Stranger Things, highly encourage you to check out Clive Barker's The Hellhound Heart. All right, and the last book that I'm going to show you guys today, once again, it deals with some of the aspect, the cryptid aspects of Stranger Things. The creatures aspect is another, I would say, classic, but not really classic author, really well-known popular author within the horror and supernatural genre. It's Max Brooks. He has written several other books. He's written anything that relates to World War Z. So that's some zombie stuff. But this book is called Devolution, or Devolution. Devolution is probably how you'd say it. Devolution. Excuse me. And this is a Sasquatch book, a Bigfoot book, but in more modern times. So if you are interested in like the creature aspect of Stranger Things, highly encourage you to check this out. This is kind of goes along the lines of it's a found novel, so it's not being written as if it's occurring currently. It's based off of the journals of a journalist, or of a resident, excuse me, a resident Kate, and what has occurred within her town because they are being terrorized by a not so nice Sasquatch creature. So highly encourage you to check this out if you like, one, books about like Bigfoot, two, if you like books about creatures, and if you like suspenseful terror-y things, right? Highly encourage you to check out anything by Max Brooks is pretty popular in that realm. So check that out, Devolution. All right, guys, that's all that I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. A couple of events that are going to be coming up. So we've got the Breaking Bread Bazaar. We're planning to be at that. August 28th is what I've got written down, the last Sunday in August. And that'll be outside of Cafe Rica in downtown Battle Creek. And that's just a really fun artisan fair. Highly encourage you to come out and check out our booth and check out all of the local artisans and local small businesses that will be represented there. It's a really good time. I've been there a couple of different times and it's really fun. It's really neat to see the variety that we have in this area. We'll also still be in downtown Battle Creek at the Farmers Market every Wednesday. From 9 to 1, I think, are the hours of that. Festival Market's going in downtown Battle Creek. Check us out. We're not going to be there for a ton more time. So if you are interested in seeing us there, or getting books picked up there, coordinate with us ahead of time and we can get those books that you've got delivered down to that every Wednesday, but got to coordinate with us ahead of time for that. The cool thing, I'm super excited about this, guys, that we've got coming up in September. We're going to be hosting a grown-up book fair in September, early September. I'll talk more about that next week, but just mark on your calendars, September 10th, we're going to have a grown-up book fair in Battle Creek. And like I said, talk about more about that next week, and check out our social media and our newsletter so that you can learn more about those things. We do have, today is the last day of our young adult book sale, and next week we've got cookbooks that'll be going on sale, both new and used. So if you know anybody who likes to make some yummy things, definitely pop in, or encourage them to pop in and get some cool cookbooks during that time. So like I said, like this video, share this video, tag people in the comments, and we appreciate you so much for watching and for considering us. And we look forward to helping you find your next news story. Bye, guys.